Join the ride with this year's Fall Cab Cam. It's brought to you by Mason City Ford Chrysler, Mason City Red Power, MBT, CERRO County Farm Bureau, Hancock County Farm Bureau, and Farmers State Bank. And now let's head to the field for this episode of the Kiss Country Cab Cam.
We're taking a day outside the cab and going to go inside to see, show you a little bit what the dealership looks like. Mason City Red Power, one of our great sponsors for the cab cam, and we'll show you the cab, but we'll be outside the cab, and we'll go to the shop here in a little bit. But first, Jerry, the parts guy here, this is the guy that, well, a lot of the farmers probably don't really want to talk to too bad, because if they're in here getting parts, it's because it broke down.
Yeah, it costs them a lot of money sometimes.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about the showroom that you got. Beautiful showroom.
Of course, the building, I think we'll be celebrating the 5th year opening of this building coming up in January, or this coming spring, I believe. Stock a little bit of everything out front here. You can see everything from apparel, you know, hats and gloves and that kind of stuff, to some of the more frequently used items. You know, we got oil out front here, and some chain lube and some penetrating oil and hand tools, and all our bulk hardware is out front. And you name it, we've got it out here. So.
And you not only just have things for oil and things for tractors, you got it for vehicles as well.
Sure. Yeah.
Farm trucks.
Yeah. I mean, we've got shop items, you know, battery cables like over there on that shelf. There's, like I said, right behind you, Jay, is our hand tool selection. All sorts of different assortments there. And lighting. We've been selling a lot of LED lights that'll fit just about any maker, model, or any color of tractor. Not even track, you know, off-road vehicles of any sort. So.
And even toys for the little ones, because they want to be just like Dad or Grandpa.
Right. It's always fun whenever the kids come in with their parents, and it's hard for the parents to drag them away from the toy section. So.
Right. But a beautiful showroom here, and we're going to move back into the to the parts area of where the parts are, and we'll show you what kind of parts you store that you have right on hand for probably the everyday, well, the farmer that comes in, and your parts that you normally, break down. Right.
Well, and that's such a vast array, because I mean, we've still got guys that are running machines that are 40 years old, all the way up to, you know, machines that are brand new. So we got quite an assortment.
So now we're in the parts department, and back behind the parts counter, and Jerry's going to show us a little bit around and what you got for parts.
Oh, this is where all of our stuff is at, all our good stuff. You know, we try to keep things separated by skid loader and tractor and combine, and then we have one section of filters, which is back here. But you can see we got some shop supplies, you know, the polishing wheels, duct tape, black tape, you name it. This row here is basically our tractor aisle, seals, clamps. Down towards that end is all the skid loader stuff, where we got harnesses, hydraulic lines. There's pivot pins for the bucket and loader arms, block heaters for about every different make and model engine that International Harvester and Case IH has. And from there we got our Drago aisle, we got combine parts, we got an aisle devoted specifically for engine oil filters, and on this side is fuel filters. The next aisle here, Jay, is like our pre-cut chain selection for combines, planters. Here again we got more filters. And then if you look across over here, we got all our reman products. We got reman electrical, there's alternators, starters. We got reman hydraulic, there's reman gearboxes. Where we keep a lot of the big bulkier stuff.
Sure.
Paint. Here's our bearing aisle. It's probably the one that we go to most often.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate to guess how many dollars worth of bearings we got just sitting in this 30 foot of shelving, but it's quite a few. And then of course we get into our aisle with our DMI ripper parts.
Yeah.
The 870 and the 875 rippers are pretty popular, even amongst Brand X guys, you know, the John Deere boys. But we try to keep a lot of stuff on hand for everybody there.
Yeah, I would say a lot of parts universal, from Case to New Holland to John Deere. I mean, kind of depends.
the thing with the CNH stuff, there's a lot of similarity between the red and the blue tractors, but there's enough difference between the brands where sometimes we can't get that New Holland part, and then they can't get the Case IH part either.
Sure. Because the bolt alignment's off just about a ½ inch.
But that, or they make it just a little bit differently, you know.
Yeah.
Between the red and the green, we call brackies frequently, but it's mostly like on hydraulic hoses.
Sure.
We both make our own hydraulic hoses, so we can share tips if we get low, or if they get low, we can swap back and forth. I'm not sure on the bearing interchange. I think there's enough difference between the machines. You know, it used to be a guy could walk in and say, well, I need a bearing for an inch shaft. Well, it's not that way anymore, because our inch bearings might be, you know, 30 thousandths thicker than what Deere offers, so then it won't fit in that Deere flange or vice versa.
Right.
So it's, the commonality isn't there like what it used to be.
Yeah.
So more DMI stuff. We've got these shelves here is all the lighting products, and we got light bulbs for anything from the old M to the 1086s to the 290 Magnums to the 8240 combines. We try to keep a lot of it on hand. So.
Now, what do the numbers mean that you're talking about on tractors and combines?
Oh, the model numbers?
Yeah.
Well, you
For
know,
people that don't know.
the old IHs, you know, when they first started, they were in the letter series, and as they progressed, they switched over to the number series. You know, like this 66 series IH was early 1970s, and then they progressed into the 86 series, which progressed into the 88 series, which at that time in the mid 80s, that's when International went under, and that's when they were coming out with the Magnums. So Case IH started out with the Magnums, you know, the 71, 7200s and the 8900s, and they went into the MX series, and then now they're up into the Magnums, what you see today. So
Right.
we handle Kinsey here. Our primary Kinsey business is with the planters in the springtime, so we got a pretty good selection of Kinsey planter parts. Of course, that inventory is low now, being it's not planting season. We'll get stocked up over winter on that stuff, so we'll be ready for spring. We've got International planter, more Kinsey parts over here, and then in this row we try to keep a lot of the common tillage stuff. You know, your springs and your spools for your discs and whatnot.
Well, cool.
And from here, our north wall is all full of air filters. We keep a lot of overrun of filters upstairs. We can go upstairs next, and I can show you around up there too. So.
All right.
So this is our upstairs parts location. As you can see on the west wall, that's our selection of belts, and that'll take care of belts for skid loaders, for tractors, for combines. There again, clear back to present day. Starting over in the UA location, that's kind of an aisle we dedicated to. The one side will be planter stuff, like it's where we keep all our kits. So like our shoes and the firming points all come together in a kit. We try to keep all the kits located in one spot. We'll have combine kits, corn head kits. You can see there's more planter parts. We got the plastic or the poly dividers for the Drago and for the IH heads. We keep a pretty good selection of high pressure hydraulic lines. Just for an example, like on hydrostats on skid loaders, they will run quite a bit higher pressure.
So parts like crazy. So
Oh yeah.
you get to see all of that. You just saw the parts department at Case IH here in Mason City Red Power. So
If we walk back over to the railing too, Jay, you can notice all the pallet racking back over here that
sure.
has all the augers. Right, this area back here, this is our shipping and receiving. So we've got a truck dock there on the north door, and the south door is the one that we use to load customers out on. And of course, we get quite a few phone calls. You know, guys can't make it in by the time we leave, so we've got a drop box outside that we put parts in, put the guy's name on it, so that way they can come in after hours and pick their parts up and keep going overnight or on the weekends or whatever. So
Perfect.
try to accommodate everybody the best that we can. Sometimes it's not 100% effective, but we try our best. So
There you go. Mason City Red Power, the parts department. Let's run on to the service department and see what a big old combine looks like. You got a combine out there?
Yeah.
All right. Let's go to see a combine.
This year's Fall Cab Cam is brought to you by Mason City Ford Chrysler, Mason City Red Power, MBT, CERRO County Farm Bureau, Hancock County Farm Bureau, and Farmers State Bank.